Okay, beautiful Wednesday morning, great people. Thank you for tuning in at this time. This Integrity Station, Splash 105.5 FM. Time to dive into the exciting world of sports on the program Sports Bang, the midweek edition. It's the front day in the month of November, year 2020. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. And of course, it's great to have you all on Sports Bank this morning. Welcome our online audience listening via the website www.splashfm1055.com. And of course, those listening via the app as well, Radio Guiding, tuning, all other online streaming platforms. Thank you for coming through at this time. Feranmi Adegboyega is right here on the program Sports Bank. We'll look at some of the major stories defining the world of sports, even as we speak right now. It is tempting to, look at the Champions League and say nothing else is happening. But the truth is that the world of sports is always buzzing with so many juicy stories. But first and foremost, let me welcome Feranmi. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning to you, Tunde. Good morning to a wonderful listener out there. Always good to be back again to talk sport this wonderful Wednesday morning. And of course, like you actually said, it's going to be difficult just to, talk about, Champions League alone, because a lot is actually happening in the world of sport. But then we all know that Champions League actually, supersedes, or let me say, took the highlight of all the major happenings in the world of sports. We can actually look at many things that actually went down yesterday, starting from Sergio Ramos scoring his 100th goal, for Real Madrid when he's not a striker. Imagine this man just, continues to amuse me, despite the fact that though majority of those goals are actually from the, sport, but then it's part of football, it's part of the game. Fantastic one, right, for that man. He has actually cemented his legendary status right there for Real Madrid. And of course, talking about Diego Jota scoring his first hat-trick for Liverpool right there. Another amazing performance from that young man right there. And I fear for Firmino right now because I feel this man is doing things that, I expected Firmino should be doing right there for that Liverpool club. And it's looking like it might be a beautiful headache, for joint club right there to actually make that last position right there in the front three attack. But then we'll just wait and see the kind of decision you will definitely make at the end of the day. And of course, the team I'm tipping to actually go for another treble this season, talking about Bayern Munich, looks like these guys are unstoppable at this point in time. I don't think there is any team on the planet Earth, that can actually stop these guys at this point in time, scoring goals for fun, as if it's actually nothing. 14 UCL wins. That's something really, really amazing for those guys. And it's looking like, hey, if guys not taking, I think they might just defend this Champions League title again.
Okay, so a lot has been said. Let us start from the home front.
Definitely.
I don't know the last time you passed through the Masiba axis of Ibadan to check the state of work going on at the Lekon Salami Stadium, the remodeling. I think the governor at the point of starting out said the project will take 18 months. Already, I'm excited about the prospect of what that place would look like. Unlike what we used to have before, when it was only the state box that was covered, everything will be covered. And I'm just basically
anticipating
what it's going to look like, and especially the ripple effect is going to have on the economy of that particular axis. Mm-hmm. I think it was also 2 days ago that on this program we're talking about where Shooting Stars
will be playing their game.
Yes,
for
I have
the NNL.
confirmed that it's going to be in Ijebu-Ode.
Okay,
so not in Ogbomoso. And we're going to be wishing them all the very best in regards to that one, because we need them back in the English Premier.
Oh, really?
Oh, my.
In the MPFL.
In the MPFL. You see, the MPFL has been off for so long that...
Exactly.
It's almost forgettable.
It's always...
And it's sad.
A very, very sad one. It's looking like, maybe we are not going to have it again this year or something like that. And a lot of people have actually missed the MPFL, whether we like it or not. People that are actually diehard fans of these home teams, they've actually missed it. And, we're just trying to make ourselves comfortable with the European leagues. But then, hopefully, we get to see our leagues back very, very soon.
Okay, the captain of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Ahmed Musa, right now is clubless, and that has left a lot of us asking questions as to what, because you'd expect that the captain of any team should be the first name on the team sheet, but in the event that he doesn't have a club, How do you even judge him? How do you assess
him,
his current form? But it looks like he's not just keeping quiet about it. He has said that he's now keen to return to Europe after leaving Saudi Arabian giant Al Nassr. The speedy attacker recently became a free agent after ending his 2-year stint with the 9-time Saudi Professional League champions. Musa, who has played in Belgium, Russia, and England, explained why he had to part ways with the Najd Knights. I've enjoyed my time in the 2 years that I've been here, and the club has been great to me, but I've always wanted to return to Europe, and I feel this is the best time for me to make that move. I want to get back to playing at the top level again against the best players in the world. So the question is, who will be interested in Musa at this point in time? Reports, some days ago linking to Istanbul Başakşehir, who are playing in the Champions League and, of course, in the Turkish League. But right now, nothing is sealed.
Yeah,
what
nothing
do you
is.
think Musa should do now?
Yeah, yesterday I even got a report that he was actually linked with Galatasaray as well. I don't know how true that is, but then I think he's trying to find his way back to Europe, which is very possible. If Mikel Obi can do that, I think he can also do the same because I think he has made enough money right there in Saudi Arabia. It's actually enough time for him to come back and actually play that competitive game. Well, we might want to say that it's not the usual Musa we used to know, but whether we like it or not, he still has the experience. He's played in Europe before. He has what it takes to actually compete at the highest level. Remember, he also played for Leicester City, in the English Premier League sometimes.
He didn't turn out well.
He didn't turn out well, but at least, he was able to gain 1 or 2 experience right there in the English Premier League. So I think, it shouldn't be that difficult for him to actually get back into Europe. It might not be a top club, so to say. It might not be one of the, top 5 leagues, so to say, but at least, he would get, a chance to play in the Turkish league. We all know that the Turkish league is now home away from home for majority of Nigerian players. And if he says he wants to actually play there, I think he should be able to get one club, that would actually want his signing right there. So I think it is just a matter of time. I believe Ahmed Musa will definitely get a club very, very soon.
Okay, just last week we were talking about, I think it was last Friday, that Diego Armando Maradona clocked 60.
60, yeah.
And the story now is that he has successfully undergone surgery for a subdural hematoma, more commonly known as a blood clot on the brain. His personal doctor confirmed this on Tuesday. The Argentine legend was first admitted to a clinic in La Plata on Monday and was immediately transferred to the Olivos Clinic about 70 kilometers away, said his doctor. A subdural hematoma is considered among the deadliest of all head injuries, according to the U.S. National Library of Medicine. It's a blood clot on the brain surface beneath its outer covering called the dura. It usually results from severe head injuries, but can be caused by minor injuries as well and can go unnoticed for days or weeks. However, speaking outside the La Plata clinic earlier on Tuesday, his doctor described the operation as routine surgery. We're glad that, from all reports, is fine. Definitely. After that surgery. But this, leaves another question as to the kind of risk that top professionals, face, in football, maybe why they're still playing or in retirement. Definitely. I think recently a commission in England also talked about players at under 18 level not being exposed to too much heading of football, because of the impact. But I mean, how do you navigate
those things are very, very difficult to avoid at this.
We love to see powerful headers.
Exactly. You
love to see your players challenge for
the ball. Exactly. But it's just what it is at this point in time. Hopefully, these things do not get to affect them on the long run. It is very, very not sure what happens after retirement. But hey, whether we like it or not, these things are actually meant to to be there. You can't say as a footballer you shouldn't contest for ball in the air and all that. Maybe
tomorrow we can make rules that would really that out of football.
I don't think so. I don't think that kind of rule would actually be visible. How would you say it that okay, every ball in the year should not be contested for, or
it is called football.
It is called football.
So
really.
It should be played by your feet.
It should be played by your feet. Oh, really? I don't think that would be possible.
Remember, there was a time
difficult.
Arsene Wenger used to complain about throw-ins, that some guys, they use the kind of advantage that is not familiar to football. But how do you pick a ball and throw all the way from midway into the 18-yard box? So maybe it's a possibility.
I don't think that would be possible.
Okay, now let's talk about Sergio Ramos. You mentioned it earlier. 100 goals for Real Madrid alone. We're not even including the one for the national team and his club before Real Madrid. Look, this is the kind of start that even some strikers
do not have.
bite your hand off to take. And he's saying that he hopes he can get a few more records after his 100th goal for the club. His header gave Real a 2-0 lead against Inter Milan as they eventually won 3-2 for their first Champions League win of the season. But let's talk about Ramos. He scored 23 goals for Spain, which makes him the top scoring defender in international history, and another 3 for Sevilla, giving him a career total of 126 goals. I was following a particular thread online yesterday, and it was a kind of argument back and forth between some guys that, okay, look, for his goals, you can regard him, but for his defensive qualities, he's not even in the top 5 ever. And I was like,
I don't think
we're
so.
talking about Sergio
Ramos right here.
Who has won absolutely everything.
Mention that title that he
and
has
he's been
won.
instrumental in those teams.
You can actually say that again. Especially last season to this season. Anytime Sergio Ramos is not playing in that Real Madrid team, it is so glaring that they lack that leadership at the back, they lack that coordination, that composure at the back, and that says a lot about his defensive abilities right there. We might want to argue that sometimes he is not really consistent on the field of play, but most of the times he has always shown his leadership skills, especially at the back line. So I think I would totally disagree with whoever saying that he's actually not in the top 5, especially with what he has done last season towards this season. He has been so amazing. We can say he's actually one of their best players, if not the best player for Real Madrid, winning that particular La Liga title last season. So I think, for him, come on, this guy is actually one of the top 5 at this point in time.
In the pantheon of greats,
yeah.
When you're looking at some of the greatest ever defenders in the world of football, where would you place Sergio Ramos? I know this sounds like me putting you on the spot, but, just off the cuff.
I think he should be in the top 10.
It should be in the top 10.
I think he should be in the top 10.
Interesting. He scored 14 Champions League goals across 11 seasons for Real Madrid. Only Raul and Karim Benzema have scored in more Champions League seasons for Real than Ramos. He has also netted a record 74 in La Liga, including 2 for Sevilla, 7 in the Spanish Cup, and a smattering across other competitions. Don't also forget that he just doesn't score goals, but
scores important goals.
Very important goals. The magazine which organizes the Ballon d'Or came up with a 10-man shortlist of defenders for their Ballon d'Or dream team. And, I'm just looking at how Ramos compares to other, greats. They mentioned England World Cup winner Bobby Moore, whose statue you will find at the front of the Wembley Stadium. Also, they mentioned Franz Beckenbauer of Bayern Munich and Germany, back then. Ronald Koeman, Passarella, Italians Franco Baresi, Fabio Cannavaro, and Gaetano Soria. Don't also forget former France and Chelsea man Marcel Desailly, and of course Marcel Sema. These are some of the names that have been listed as, according to the French magazine that organizes Ballon d'Or, their own, dream team defenders for Ballon d'Or.
Fantastic.
So, he's writing his own history.
Definitely.
And we're excited to see what he is doing at this point in time. Let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. Loads of games, interesting results yesterday in Group A. It was Lokomotiv and Atletico Madrid sharing a 1-1 draw. I don't know, somehow we didn't get to predict that game, so I can't pitch this on anybody, but Bayern Munich, destroying everybody on their way. 6-2 away against Red Bull Salzburg. Goals from Leroy Sané, Robert Lewandowski is second, and Lucas Hernandez completed Bayern's cruise against Salzburg. The tie seemed to tilt in the O's favor when Masaya Okugawa coolly slotted in for 2-2 minutes after coming off the bench in the second half. However, the European champions found 4 more goals to secure a sizable triumph. So, Bayern have now won 14 Champions League games in a row.
When this guy scored first, because, Salzburg actually scored at the first guy, I was like, hey, why this? You shouldn't have done this. You're asking for trouble. And they actually got it. But, talking about these guys, they are just amazing, in every department. Even though we might want to say, okay, defensive, they are struggling. But, hey, they found a way to actually cover for that particular space from the midfield going forward. And they're scoring a lot of goals. And like I said earlier, I think, the only team that can stop them is themselves at this point in time, because I don't see anybody.
The good thing about Bayern is that there's a certain level of arrogance you see in that club, even right through from the boardroom. Yesterday, the president of the club, announced to the world that they've now withdrawn the offer they put on the table for David Alaba. He's 28 years old.
28, yes.
And as far as they're concerned, nobody owes Bayern Munich to ransom. You would think that they should be begging this guy. He's been one of their most important players in the last 4 or 5 seasons, but they're saying, look, if you want to go, right now, the point is that you will have to go because there's no offer on the table for him anymore.
Exactly, because there is
and he's still on top of his game.
Exactly, because there is a structure on ground, because there is a system on ground that allows them to be able to discover any talent, to replace whoever is actually leaving, and that is what has been working for them for years. Because it feels like they don't even miss anybody that is actually leaving. When the likes of Arjen Robben, Ribery actually left at that point in time, we felt that
they were old players.
Of course they were old players, but we thought they are going to have a lot of impact in that particular team when they leave. But we saw how they are able to actually replace these guys, and it's looking like they don't even miss these guys. So I think it's just what is on ground for them. If anybody is saying he's bigger than the club, they will tell you, hey, you're not. We have a replacement for you.
Bayern Munich, arguably, some would say is the most well-run club in Europe.
You can say that again.
Because in this world where the market has become, massively inflated, you still haven't had a situation where Bayern had to spend 80 million
on players.
And they've been absolutely successful. They
literally forced Manchester City to sell in Lorenzani, and that's what they know how to do best.
Well, they were not the only one. Mönchengladbach also had a 6-0 victory against Shakhtar yesterday. Real Madrid defeated Inter Milan 3-2. Manchester City had a 3-0 victory against Olympiacos. That you'll find in the BBC Premier League updates. Porto also had a 3-0 victory against Olympique Marseille. Ajax, despite having 11 players out
yesterday,
no thanks to COVID-19, they still won 2-1 against Midtjylland and Liverpool. The new boy, Diego Jota, showing exactly why they went for him right now. Scoring a hat-trick for them in the Champions League. We'll take a break now to catch up with the BBC Premier League update. Stay with us.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello from Colin Harrison at the BBC Sports Centre. Liverpool and Manchester City both enjoyed big wins in the Champions League on Tuesday. Diego Jota scored a hat-trick as Liverpool thrashed Atalanta in Italy. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane also scored in a 5-0 victory, while Manchester City beat the Greek side Olympiacos 3-0 with goals from Ferran Torres, Gabriel Jesus and Joao Cancelo. The Chelsea forward Christian Pulisic will miss Wednesday's Champions League match against Rennes. He picked up a hamstring injury in the warm-up ahead of Saturday's game at Burnley, but a scan has revealed that it's not a serious injury. The Chelsea head coach Frank Lampard says a return to 5 substitutes for Premier League games is needed.
In normal seasons, normal times, I think it's demanded on a squad to play as regularly as we are, and now that's even tighter. So hence why I think a lot of managers now, particularly managers that are involved in Europe, are calling for more subs in the Premier League, because we know these demands can take the players to places where they're in a real injury risk.
Reports suggest that Paul Pogba could be arrested for Manchester United's Champions League game at Istanbul Başakşehir on Wednesday. Pogba was heavily criticised for conceding the penalty that led to Arsenal's winning goal in the Premier League on Sunday. But United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been pleased overall with Pogba's recent performances.
Every player is frustrated and disappointed after the defeat, and we need consistency from every one of our players, and that's what we want. And Paul's been going through a difficult period with an injury last season, and the COVID now is working up to fitness. So I think we've seen plenty of positives lately.
For more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Okay, there you listen to the BBC Premier League update. Today, so many important games are coming through. I'm sorry, we'll not be able to just run through the entire list of the games coming up. We have to leave right now. Feranmi, in 10 seconds, your final take.
Yeah, I think the big boys should actually do the needful later today. I don't expect any surprises.
The big boys?
The big boys in the Champions League, of course, likes of Chelsea, Sevilla, Barcelona, Juventus. I expect them to actually, and probably United,
Probably.
Probably.
They've been the revelation so far in the Champions
That's why I
League
said
this season.
probably. They cannot be predicted. So
Don't
let's
include Barcelona in that league.
They are the big boy. They are a big boy in the Champions League, but not in the league.
They've been suffering.
They've been suffering in the league, not in the Champions
So you
League.
think it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. They can do it in the
But
Champions
United
League,
have not been suffering in the Champions League.
but they've been suffering in the league.
So, but you said probably. And tonight it is about Champions League.
Let's see what happens.
Thank you so much, Feranmi.
Always a pleasure to be
You
here.
have a lovely, lovely day. Thanks to you for listening as well. At 4 o'clock today, Just Football will be all yours. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. Bye-bye.
You be Arsenal, I'm more happy man you. You on the vest because we dey outshine you.
Splash FM 105.5.